Bienvenue, les aventures de Frank et Ben. Quatrième série, Frank and Ben go to a pool party at Genevieve's place. Sixième histoire, Frank and Ben go to a pool party, part 6. Just as Genevieve finishes telling the boys about the Dewey sisters, Linda comes into the room and with downcast eyes and a worried look says to Genevieve, "Sorry to be interrupting, but I just wanted to let you know your last guest has arrived." "Fine," says Genevieve, smiling warmly at the maid despite her downcast eyes and worried look. "We'll go upstairs now," she says to the boys, "and I'll introduce you to this new arrival as well as the other guests." "Before you do," Linda says, "there's something I should tell you. I'm sorry about it, but I couldn't help myself." She was going on about what a dreadfully boring time you must have had on the bus, despite meeting these two young gentlemen, and then with a few other things she said, implying it was strange of you to cozy up to them so quickly, I felt I'd no choice but to tell her it was perfectly normal you should invite them here. Frowning at this bit of news and even holding back some annoyance, Genevieve finally turns to the boys and says to them, "I'm sorry, but it won't be easy to explain what Linda is referring to. Let me just say this much. Cynthia Sharp is the guest who has just arrived. She's a very talented writer who, on the one hand, is a truly pleasant and agreeable person, and on the other, as full of ruses as a fox and as bold and daring as a lion. In a nutshell, she'll go to any lengths to get a story. Indeed, her persistence in such matters and the various means she'll take are truly astonishing. They are worthy of a story themselves. She thinks nothing of going into bars, restaurants, and hotel lobbies and mixing with people and fitting into any conversation. She even went so far one time as to wear glasses and a false beard, eavesdrop on people. When she hears something juicy or even the least bit out of the ordinary, she takes notes about it and then writes it up later." Still looking remorseful, Linda says to Genevieve, "I'm sorry for letting it slip out about the bus trip." "It's not your fault, Linda. I know she can be as subtle as a snake when it comes to looking for a story, and as voracious as a vampire when it comes to finding someone to tell it." "Does she know anything about UFOs?" Ben asked. "No, science fiction isn't her genre," Genevieve answers, after giving him an odd look. "Where do you know her from?" Frank asks. "She's a friend of my mother's," Genevieve replies, "but I hesitate to tell you how that happened or how it was possible for her to wheedle her way into coming to this party." "If you ask me," Linda says to her, looking cold and scornful, "she's completely out of line coming to a party where everybody's so much younger than she is."